The chilling story of Dennis Rader, the BTK Killer. Dennis Rader, infamously known as the BTK Killer, an acronym for his modus operandi of binding, torturing, and killing, was one of America's most notorious serial killers. Over nearly 2 decades, from 1974 to 1991, Rader terrorized the Wichita, Kansas area, committing 10 brutal murders that left a community in fear and law enforcement baffled. What made him even more sinister was his penchant for taunting police and media with cryptic letters, puzzles, and clues about his crimes, all while living a seemingly ordinary life as a family man, church leader, and municipal employee. Early life and personality traits. Born on March 9, 1945, in Pittsburgh, Kansas, Dennis Rader grew up in a strict Lutheran household where discipline and religious teachings were emphasized. From an early age, he exhibited traits that would later define his dark personality: obsessive-compulsive tendencies, a fascination with control, and disturbing sexual fantasies involving bondage and domination. These fantasies became increasingly intense during his teenage years, fueled by pornography and violent imagery. Rader joined the U.S. Air Force after high school, serving briefly before returning to Kansas. He attended Wichita State University, earning a degree in administration of justice, which ironically included coursework on criminal behavior. This education only deepened his understanding of how to evade detection, making him a more calculated predator. Despite his outward appearance as a mild-mannered, rule-following citizen, Rader harbored dark impulses that eventually erupted into violence. The first murders, 1974. Rader's killing spree began in January 1974, when he murdered 4 members of the Otero family: Joseph, Julie, and their 2 children, Joseph Jr. and Josie, in their home. The crime scene was gruesome. Rader bound his victims with rope or cord, strangled them, and posed their bodies in degrading positions. The sheer brutality shocked the small city of Wichita, leaving residents terrified. It marked the beginning of a pattern that would repeat over the next 17 years. Later that year, in April 1974, Rader claimed another victim, Catherine Bright, whom he attacked in her home, along with her brother Kevin. While Catherine succumbed to her injuries, Kevin survived despite being shot multiple times. Survivors like Kevin provided valuable insights into Rader's methods, but weren't enough to identify him at the time. Modus operandi and psychological profile. Rader's signature method involved stalking his victims for weeks or months, learning their routines, and meticulously planning his attacks. His preferred targets were women, often those who lived alone or appeared vulnerable. Once inside their homes, he would bind them using ropes or cords, subject them to psychological torment, and then kill them through strangulation or asphyxiation. What set Rader apart from other serial killers was his need for attention and validation. In addition to committing these horrific acts, he craved recognition for his work. Between 1974 and 1978, he sent letters to local newspapers and television stations boasting about his crimes. One such letter, sent to KKTV in October 1974, detailed the Otero murders and demanded coverage under the name BTK Strangler. This brazen act not only amplified public fear, but also established Rader's reputation as a calculating and arrogant killer. Law enforcement struggled to catch him due to his careful planning and ability to blend into society. To outsiders, Rader appeared to be a devoted husband, father, and active member of his community. He worked as a compliance officer for the Park City, Kansas government, served as president of his church congregation, and volunteered with various civic organizations. His double life allowed him to operate undetected for years. A decade-long hiatus, in 1978-1985, after his initial wave of murders, Rader went dormant for several years. During this period, investigators believed the BTK killer might have stopped killing or moved elsewhere. However, in 1985, he resurfaced with another murder, targeting Maureen Hedge, a 53-year-old widow. Her body was found wrapped in plastic near a rural road, further showcasing Rader's meticulous nature and desire to exert control even after death. Over the next few years, Rader continued his spree, claiming additional victims such as Vicky Wegerle in 1986 and Dolores Davis in 1991. Each murder followed his trademark pattern of bondage and execution-style killings. Yet, despite his growing list of victims, Rader remained elusive, slipping back into his everyday life without raising suspicion. Return to the spotlight, 2004-2005. For nearly 2 decades, the BTK case went cold. Then, in 2004, Rader re-emerged, reigniting panic across Wichita. He began sending letters, packages, and floppy disks to local news outlets and police departments, reviving his old alias and providing details about past murders. One particularly chilling package contained a photograph of one of his victims, alongside personal items taken from her home. These communications revealed Rader's arrogance and obsession with maintaining his legacy. However, they also contained critical mistakes. In February 2005, he sent a computer disk to KSAS-TV, unaware that metadata embedded in the file could trace it back to him. Investigators discovered that the disk had been used by Christ Lutheran Church, where Rader served as president. Further investigation linked him to the murders through DNA evidence and handwriting analysis. Arrest and confession, 2005. On February 25, 2005, Dennis Rader was arrested at his home in Park City, Kansas. Initially cooperative, Rader confessed to all 10 murders during interrogations, providing graphic details about each crime. He expressed no remorse, instead describing his actions matter-of-factly, as if recounting mundane events. During his trial, Rader pleaded guilty to 10 counts of first-degree murder. In August 2005, he was sentenced to 10 consecutive life terms, ensuring he would never be eligible for parole. Throughout the proceedings, Rader maintained his eerie composure, even offering unsolicited commentary on his own psyche and motivations. Life behind bars. Today, Dennis Rader is incarcerated at El Dorado Correctional Facility in Kansas. Despite his imprisonment, he continues to seek attention, occasionally corresponding with true crime authors and researchers. His writings reveal a man still consumed by his twisted fantasies, though now confined to pen and paper. Legacy of Fear. The story of Dennis Rader serves as a haunting reminder of the duality that can exist within individuals. Beneath his facade of normalcy lay a deeply disturbed individual, capable of unimaginable cruelty. His ability to evade capture for so long underscores the challenges faced by law enforcement in identifying predators who lead seemingly ordinary lives. For Wichita residents, the scars left by the BTK killer remain fresh, a testament to the enduring impact of his crimes. Yet, his eventual capture demonstrates the importance of persistence and technological advancements in solving even the most complex cases. As society reflects on the horrors perpetrated by men like Dennis Rader, it becomes clear that vigilance, empathy, and justice are essential tools in preventing future tragedies.